So day 3, we've been about 5 times to Uluru, and now this is Kata Tjuta, the Olgas. DD driver Celeste, what do you think of the Olgas?
Pretty amazing, and it feels like I'm driving from California to Utah.
Utah?
Beautiful day.
I love Utah. You said it looked like elephant poo, is that correct?
The elephant poop there.
The largest species of ant in the world, of course, is the elephant. We're on our journey around the Olgas. Kata Tjuta, they call it. Many rocks. And we're going to go, as you can probably hear, to the Valley of the Winds. Just some valley of winds. Just one valley of winds. Plenty of winds. Maybe plenty of valleys. Watch your footing here on loose gravel, guys. If you're ever unsure of yourself, zigzag up or zigzag down, because you don't want that falling on top of you, or you don't want falling down here. Mind you, I'm as sure-footed as a mountain goat. So is Celeste. Wonderful to be up at the crack of dawn this morning. See Uluru with the sunrise. Pictures to come, video evidence to come. If it's not on video or Insta, you didn't do it. It's as simple as that. And of course, get your Pfizer or AstraZeneca jab. I've got my second of the Pfizer. Didn't feel a thing. Feel like Superman. I don't think I feel like Wonder Woman. But just joking. What do you think so far, Celeste? Pretty flat, but we're coming up to the valley soon. Should be a hoot. Look at that. And that formation, another wonderful meeting place for the indigenous tribes to congregate and basically swap food for spears and spears for food, and stories for advice and advice for knowledge, I think. Some 80,000 years ago, the oldest living race in the world by all accounts. That is a long time ago, and they've picked a good spot. The only thing I struggle with is how they got their water. I'm sure they were a bit brighter than me, these bushmen, back in the day. Probably had to go to the ground, rely on the odd bit of rainfall here and there, although we're coming down to a bridge now and what possibly seems to be a little billabong. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bushes he. But I don't think that was available 500 million years ago. Still deciding what circuit we're going to do. I think we'll just do the full circuit. And that is pretty special. Rusty red, would you call that? If you were to go to Taubman's paint and panel and ask for rusty red, I think that would come out, wouldn't it, for your car? Yes, Greg, I think it would. Beautiful blue skies and rusty red rock. Although I am very colourblind, I won't just say I'm colourblind. I'm pretty sure I'm very, very colourblind with blues and purples, reds and browns, and greens and browns, and oranges and reds, and black and white. Just joking. It's black and white to me, black and white. But the rest, or remainder of Roigabiv, is pretty much all the same. I can only see about 2 colours in the rainbow. That's exciting. I think it's a blue and a sort of a red or something. Red and orange and yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet is Roigabiv. Plenty of birds starting to happen at the moment. That's a nice scene. They always say, every kilometre or so, look back, because you can miss out on the spectacular views. I never saw a sight that didn't look better looking back. I was born under a wandering star. You can see where the water has come down the mountains. Doesn't rain here much at all, but there's some rust marks or waterfall marks from where the water is rusted away. It'll be quite spectacular on a wet day. How often that happens every year. Oh, we're really in the valley now. Absolutely shaded by these very sheer cliff faces. And of course we've got the red rocks of home in the sunlight, where they should be. Loose rocks again, but that's no drama whatsoever. Do you have to be fit to do this walk? Well, everyone can't be as fit as me, but let's just say if I can do it, you guys can do it. Once again, this is the Olgas, Valley of the Winds, and probably prefer this hands down to Uluru. No question about that. Uluru is a great circuit walk, but you're mostly in the sun. See somebody up there. Mostly in the sun, and it's very, very flat. This is undulating. A few loose rocks, as I said. But around each corner, different undulations, different rock formations, different shapes, different sizes, and always look back. Ooh,
That's amazing.
that is cool. Looks like someone's inscripted something up on there. Hieroglyphics.
Stop swearing, Celeste.
Stop swearing, Celeste. I think you can get away with that.
It's beautiful.